G'day guys, how you going? Hope you're doing well. My name is Sean. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here and you don't know what I talk about technology, I do tutorials, gaming, streaming, reviews, unboxings, impressions, all things technology really. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Logitech G613 wireless mechanical keyboard. This keyboard I've been wanting to test out now for quite some time. There's not very many wireless mechanical keyboards on the market, and that's why I was so interested in this particular one. So if you have any questions about this particular keyboard or any thoughts on it, leave those in the comment section down below. Make sure to hit subscribe if you haven't subscribed already to make sure you don't miss out on any of the other future videos that I do this year. And let's begin. Alrighty guys, so before I go through and give you my thoughts and opinions on this particular keyboard, maybe what we should do is go through and talk about some of the features and specifications of the G613 wireless mechanical keyboard. So this keyboard is priced at $199.95 in Australian dollars. You can find this keyboard cheaper though if you are willing to shop around a little bit. At the moment on the Logitech website it is saying that it is sold out. However, depending on your retailer in your area, you might be able to find this in stock. I was able to get this keyboard sent over to me from Logitech, so I didn't have to go through any of that drama. But the price, $199.95, is the maximum RRP. You might be able to find it anywhere between, I've found $160 to $180. So shop around, that's all I can say on that front. The keyboard itself is using the Lightspeed wireless technology, Roma G tactile switches, and an 18-month battery life. So the Roma G tactile switches are probably, I would say, closely related to the Cherry MX Reds, that they're not clicky, they have a linear feel. There is a slight bump right at the beginning, but it is very, very subtle. But the main thing with this keyboard is that it is very, very quiet. It's really nice, so you wouldn't have any issues, I think, using this in an office space or around other people, or even if you're sharing a room with somebody and you wanted to use this keyboard. It is not very loud. Like, I'm typing on it at the moment and you can probably barely hear it compared to something like the Cherry MX Blues that we heard in the Asus ROG keyboard. That keyboard was quite loud because of the switches. So this keyboard though, I would say, is going to be not an issue for those of you who are sharing a space. So highly recommend these switches. They feel really nice. I found that the accuracy when I'm typing on it is quite good. It did take a little bit of time to get used to, just because the macro keys on the left hand side mean that you kind of have to shift your hands over just a little bit, but otherwise keys feel really good. The Lightspeed wireless technology is something that Logitech's been talking about and kind of really pushing for a while now. They've got it in some of their mice now, and really what it aims to do is reduce the latency down to 1 millisecond. So this keyboard has a 1000 Hertz polling rate. You can manually switch it to 500 Hertz or 250 Hertz, but the default's 1000 Hertz, and you can get potentially a 1 millisecond or within there's a margin of error there, a really, really good experience. I found that with some of the keyboard testing that I've done, on average, I'm getting between 30 and 40 milliseconds response, which is very similar to what I'm getting on my Corsair K68, which is a cabled keyboard. So the Lightspeed technology is absolutely awesome. I really like it, and I haven't noticed any latency or lag compared to a cabled keyboard. So I really, really do like the Lightspeed technology. On their website, they do talk about the switches and the Lightspeed wireless technology and the Roma G tactile stuff, because that's stuff that's all been designed in-house by Logitech, being tons of, I guess, engineering and design put into their keyboards and their mice. And this is particularly aimed at the gamer series, which is the G series keyboards and mice. If we keep going down on the website, it talks about the programmable keys on the left hand side. So you've got 6 keys there that you can essentially change in the G Hub software from Logitech to be key commands or shortcuts for the application that you're using. So it might be switching scenes when you're in something like OBS or Streamlabs, or it might be something to do with a game. You can actually change it based on the game or the application or profile that you're using. So I do really like the fact that they've got some extra keys on the left hand side here. If we keep going down on the website, you can connect two different ways wirelessly. You can connect using the unifying receiver, which comes in the keyboard, and you can just plug that into your USB port, or you can connect over Bluetooth if your computer has Bluetooth 4 or Bluetooth 5. So I've been using both to test, and I can't see any difference between Bluetooth or wireless. They both seem to be as responsive as each other. So what I'll probably be doing is using Bluetooth. That means I don't have to sacrifice losing one USB port on my computer, as it's already got the Bluetooth built in. You do have a game mode switch on here as well, so you can actually turn that on, and what that will essentially do is just disable your Windows lock key on the left and right hand side of the keyboard, but you can actually change this in the software as well to actually disable other keys. So you might want to disable pause break or print screen, or maybe the caps lock key if that's something that you want to do. So you can actually do that through the software, which is a nice convenient switch on the keyboard for you to turn that on and off depending on when you're gaming and when you're not. It gives you a battery light indicator and a simple caps lock indicator, and that's pretty much it. There's no backlight on this keyboard, which would have been something really nice for them to build in, have built in. It would have been nice for them to just maybe even have one color with a different level of brightness. I understand, for this price and trying to fit all this technology in, adding RGB and adding a backlight probably would have been difficult, but it still would have been nice considering that this is a keyboard aimed at gamers who often game in dark environments at night time. So it would have been nice for them to even add in a backlight. It would have also been nice, in my opinion, to add in a rechargeable battery rather than having AA's. I know it does say that it lasts up to 18 months on the AA batteries, but I still feel that if you're going to keep this keyboard, it's going to be for a few years. And I guess everyone games differently. The sessions that you have are all going to be different. Some people might only game for an hour a day, or some people might game for 6 or 7 hours a day. It just depends. So I think if they were to build in a rechargeable battery option, that would have been really nice to have to save you from worrying about when your batteries might die. It will tell you in the software when the batteries are getting low, but that's just something that I feel that in 2019 everyone should be doing. They should be completely trying to remove that whole AA battery thing and just putting in one rechargeable battery. The Lightspeed technology does carry across to some of their other peripherals. I've already mentioned that. And then down the bottom it talks about what comes in the box. So in the box you get the keyboard, obviously, the USB receiver, an extension cable. You also get a phone stand, which is nice to have on your desk so you can have your phone sitting there. And then you've got some AA batteries as well, plus the manual and everything else. So specifications wise, this keyboard's 478mm high, 216mm wide, 33mm deep, and then the keyboard weighs 1,410 grams. So it is a bit of a heavy keyboard, but not super heavy like some others that I've tested. And there is a little bit of flex in the keyboard, but not that much. It does come with an included palm rest, which is really nice. It isn't detachable though, so for some of you that might be a deal breaker. Personally, I like the fact that it's attached and it's not going to go anywhere. I've always used wrist rests or palm rests on my keyboard, so I do like the fact that it is attached. On the bottom of the keyboard, you've got some rubber feet. There's only basically one height that you can choose. You can either choose flat or you can raise it, but there's only one height for that. There is some rubber feet on the bottom of the keyboard near the palm rest as well. And then you've got a little cover here for your USB receiver and the AA batteries. So it's all pretty simple, nothing too complex. And on the bottom, you've got some information about the model and the brand and everything else. The Roma G tactile switches, they say the durability is up to 70 million key presses, so I don't feel like you're going to be wearing out these keys anytime soon. Actuation distance is 1.5 millimeters, so that's the distance in which it takes for the key to become active, so only a 1.5 millimeter press. Actuation force is 45 grams, which is not too heavy, and then the total travel distance is 3.2 millimeters. So these keys are very similar to some of the Cherry MX switches, but like I said, probably closely related to the Cherry MX Reds in my opinion. So if you like those keys, then I feel like you're going to like these ones as well. 18 months battery life, I've already mentioned that, and a 2-year warranty on the keyboard. The requirements is you can use it on Windows 10, Windows 7. You can also use it on Mac, which is really nice, and you can also use it on Android, Chrome OS, or iOS over Bluetooth. So it is nice that they've thought about you know, people that aren't necessarily gaming on Windows and might be gaming on a mobile phone or a tablet or a, you know, Chrome OS operating system. So it is nice that they've thought about a few different things there. So to summarize, things I really like about this keyboard, it's got the macro keys, which I really like for switching scenes, for me particularly in Streamlabs. It's got the option of wireless and Bluetooth, which I really like. It's got the media keys, which are very simple. The design's very simple. I don't have any issues there at all. I really do like the keys. They feel really, really nice. But some things that I wish they would maybe improve on the next model would be the ability to add in a backlight, even if it was just a simple one color, different brightness level backlight, and then a rechargeable battery option. They're the things that I would really wish they would do for the next keyboard, and maybe even make one without the number pad, so it's purely just, you know, a 60% or a 70% size keyboard. That would be really nice as well. So what I'll do now is I'll include a bit of B-roll and do some sound testing. I'll include some latency testing compared to a wired keyboard, and you guys can let me know what you think. If you like this keyboard, if you have any questions about this keyboard, make sure to leave them in the comment section down below. If you like this video, chuck it a like. If you didn't like this video, give it a dislike and maybe tell me why. And as always, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.